Working with a D.Va. Due to changes on YouTube, I need to increase watch time, so show support by watching till the end and giving a like. Hey everyone, it's Naomi, and in this video, I want to talk about working with D.Va. Be sure to hit like if this is helpful, but let's get right into this guide because I've seen a lot of videos out there about how to play a hero, but there's not enough buzz, not enough talk about actually working with a specific hero. So, in this video, I'm going to do exactly that and talk to you about how to work with my favorite hero in the game, D.Va. I'm going to be talking about how to work as a DPS with D.Va, how to work as a tank with D.Va, and how to work really as a support with D.Va, all those kinds of things. Some of them will be in this video as an example. They might not be, I might just talk about some of them, but nevertheless, I will talk about them anyway because it's important that you know this information. So the first off, biggest thing that I can say when it comes to working with D.Va applies with all heroes. Do not overextend and leave your D.Va alone. This provides the enemy team with an opportunity to pounce that D.Va, and D.Va cannot survive. No hero in the game is meant to survive 1v6, save the one instance that they may have their ultimate and be able to clear that 6 players out of the game and maybe even get a team kill or a play of the game or whatever. You have to keep this in mind because so many people in bronze do this. I've seen people in silver do this. I've seen people in gold matches do this. DPS in particular feel the need to go in, overextend, to chase kills. Overwatch is not Call of Duty. If you want to overextend or all that kind of thing, or you want to chase kills, go play deathmatch. Because competitive is not the place to chase kills. You have to group up. You have to stay together. Otherwise, everything falls apart. It's like in horror movies. You know, the big mistake people make in horror movies is they split up and then everybody dies. It's the same in Overwatch, funnily enough. You know, if everybody splits up, then everybody dies, and see, they've split me up from the rest of the team here, so I'm the only one, really, fighting the rest of the team, and I'm not gonna survive. I have realized this, and I make it way back to the point where I belong, because I realize that there's no point being overextended, and there's no point chasing kills. And besides, the point has moved anyway, so that's something else to keep in mind. When it comes to healers working with DPS, as a D.Va, the sort of thing that I think of is, you know, if it's a Lucio, for example, I try to stay inside Lucio's ring and position myself so that I'm always inside Lucio's little ring so I can get that speed boost, that healing, whenever it's available. The other thing I try to do, which is really important, is I will, if we have a Mercy on our team, stay with that Mercy and communicate with that Mercy that I want damage boost or something like that in order to prioritize kills and, you know, get kills done quicker. When it comes to someone like Moira, I might, you know, not communicate as much as, not really much communication is needed to get healing from Moira's orbs and that kind of thing. Getting healing from Zenyatta is a little interesting because, you might have to communicate there definitely, but it's not as uh, as bad with him because he would, if he's a skilled Zenyatta, be communicating discords and all that kind of thing. So there's communication there anyway. Um, and he will know, sorry, because of his update, how much health is there on the enemy because he can do that now. He can actually see it come up in the corner, which is super helpful. Another really important thing to consider with D.Va is that she takes on positions that others can't, and that mainly consists of the high ground. A lot of the DPS and all those kinds of people, they mostly stick to the low ground, um, but D.Va, see, we just got the Mercy there to come up and heal me by positioning myself. D.Va is primarily meant to stick to the high ground because that is her safe zone. The only time that isn't her safe zone is perhaps if there's a that, in which case she kind of wants to get right up in their face and deal as much damage as possible in that short time to try and get that sniper out or whatever that is in the high ground, because that is generally where snipers position themselves. As you see here, I waited for the Reinhardt barrier to go down. This is also important. When it comes to working with D.Va, you have to make sure that barrier is down before she does her ult. Otherwise, she's gonna get no value out of it. This goes for Mei walls and things like that as well. Keeping in mind when Mei last did her wall is really important. And you need to be thinking about this stuff subconsciously because it will help. And this goes with Ryan as well. Keeping in mind his shield, keeping in mind if it went down. Because the more you keep an eye on that kind of thing, the better. As you can see as well, the other thing I do to remind team members to stay on the point is I have a command option where I can tell them to stay on the point. This is really helpful because it reminds them to stay in the position that they're at, and it works really well and really effectively. That is with consideration that they actually listen, because if they don't listen, then yeah, that's not a good thing. Another thing I would suggest when it comes to working with a D.Va is if you're gonna work with a D.Va, it's better to play in stack. And the reason I say that is because in stack, you're working with people that you know, it's not as random, and you can actually get stuff done, which is helpful. It's really helpful. Positioning yourself above enemies like this, like I am now, is very important for a number of reasons too. Like, it allows you to literally get the upper hand on a team fight, which is something to also keep in mind when working with a D.Va. And see, just like that, I'm on fire, and that's round one. Now, I'm going to do my best to do commentary over this, because this is going to go over relatively fast. But now we're talking about attack and working with D.Va. Attacking with D.Va is a little bit different, but somewhat the same. Everybody needs to stay together, otherwise things are going to fall apart. D.Va's job on attack is really to break up the enemy team and allow space for the rest of the team, the DPS, the healers, and the other tank, to go in and do their job. With the other tank providing heals, sorry, not heals, shield, so that they can do their job the most effectively. You need that shield because of two reasons. One, it protects you, and two, it protects the D.Va later on in certain team fights when she does decide to go down and group up with the team in some situations. And yes, occasionally D.Va will fly down to low ground. It's just gotta be done with consideration of where everyone is on the map so that she doesn't die. As you can see here, I position myself so that I can go up to high ground immediately. I wait for the signal, kind of, not that there is one, and I say, I'm not going to worry about taking out that team, I'm just going to head straight for the point. This puts all the focus on me, that's totally fine. I sacrifice myself, and that breaks the choke, which is really important. Now, okay, you might think a death like this is terrible, but what it does is it breaks up the team so that my team can go in and do work, which is really, really helpful. Reaper's going to go around and he's going to do his job, making sure to take care of that healer, the Moira, and everyone else so that they can't do work in there. And just like that, with a little bit of effort, maybe a few more kills, I don't know. Yep, kill of the soldier. That is point. This D.Va is overextended. She deserves to be punished for that. This is another thing you can communicate to a D.Va or communicate with a D.Va on, is saying to people, hey, someone's overextended, and the D.Va, because of the areas she controls, can go in after that hero and take them out when they decide to overextend. Again, you're going to see, I take the high ground. This forces their team to have to either deal with me or their, the rest of my team. But because they can't deal with me because I'm getting pocketed, and pocketed by a mercy no less, they can't really do anything, and boom, that's everyone sorted, thanks to a Reaper ult, and just like that, due to teamwork and coordination, it's over. Stay coordinated and all that kind of thing, and I assure you, you will have a much better time when working with a D.Va in Overwatch. Working with your DPS is particularly important as a tank, so if you play DPS, make sure you're talking to your D.Va, because you're going to want to communicate everything you can to her so that she can take out people that are out of position. Anyway, I'm Naomi. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video next week. Peace out.